Deputy Minister, the reality is we have a high rate of unemployment. Between the DTIC and BPESA's conference for this week, is there a succession plan to take the data, to take the analysis from today, and about a year later, when the conference is being hosted again, do we have a results sheet?
Yeah, in fact, that's what we do. We try to track the data points religiously and consistently. We now know that in the past quarter we had an 8,000 jobs growth in the business processing services sector. We have the guys who work with South African Youth Mobi, which is an online platform where unemployed youth load themselves in. So we are able to pick up the data. When did people get onboarded into the SA Youth Mobi platform, and how quickly was the turnaround for them to get employment? So we are able to then look and assess that information over a year and say, this is where the absorption happened the most, this is where there was a gridlock, and how best do we rejig the process to make it more efficient going forward.
The creation of trade and industry is critical to the basis of the DTIC. However, not everyone is going to be able to be at the heads of trade and industry. What are the collaborative programs, apart from BPESA, that DTCI hopes to be as a host model or a business model?
To use this model and exploit it also.
Yes.
So just from a spatial profile point of view, the DTIC is responsible for special economic zones and industrial parks and so on, which are spread out across the country as much as possible.
Yeah.
We try to use that physical infrastructure to build innovation hubs. So that's the current discussion we're having with the Department of Science and Technology, with higher education, and the Department of Labor and Employment, to create these centers where people, they don't have to travel far. You don't have to move from, I don't know which example I can give. Okay, let's take Emandeni. You don't have to move from Emandeni all the way to Durban for you to have an opportunity. So we want to create an innovation hub inside East Terre Industrial Park, so that we could have that ecosystem of people where they live. So we try to do all kinds of initiatives like that. We also work with the Department of Small Business Development as well, to encourage an upswing in youth entrepreneurship, but also provide them with the technical and financial support they need to build sustainable businesses.
And finally, Deputy Minister, the cost of doing business is often a regulatory, often referred to as a bureaucratic process. How much more easier has it become to do business?
It's work that you have to constantly try to improve. You have to ask the question, what compliance information does a person need for them to open a business? And how can I concentrate that in one platform so that they could have access to all of them? The SA Youth Mobi app is part of an attempt to do that, but we do understand that from complying with your bylaws in a city like eThekwini, to complying with SARS requirements, to complying with the CIPC and so on, it sometimes looks like it's a bit of a cumbersome process. Platforms such as the Global Business Services Master Plan are designed in order to ease the burden of doing business in a particular sector, and we have 10 of those across 10 different sectors of the economy. So we are hoping that with time and practice and feedback from the ground, we will be able to decide on which areas of regulation do we need to ease on, so that the cost of doing business could just be reduced from a regulatory constraint point of view.
Thank you, Deputy Minister. Who's next?